Election Day in this purple state is 36 days away. Hey, speaking of, Rockies play the Cubs wild card game tomorrow at 6. All right, back to the Election Day thing. If there is one thing the politicians agree on, it is that Colorado's traffic must be better managed. Our Marshall Zellinger joined them for a progress report on tolled express lanes and what they mean for our drive times.
Express lanes are popping up all over. I-25 north of Highway 36, I-70 in the mountains, soon to be I-70 by the Purina plant, and also C-470. They come with a price. Most drivers end up paying a toll, with some HOV exemptions.
Without express lanes, we wouldn't have been able to finance as many projects as we have in the last 5 years.
David Spector, who manages express lanes for CDOT, gave a report card to lawmakers today showing data that traffic on I-25 from Highway 36 to Thornton moves between 8 and 13 miles per hour faster with the added express lane in each direction. Highway 36, 7 to 17 miles per hour faster, and I-70 traffic in the mountains moves 7 to 10 miles per hour faster.
In winter, during ski season, peak period delays have been virtually eliminated for all travelers.
The lawmakers getting the update had questions you likely have. Why do we have to keep building lanes that cost drivers?
Everyone who emails me never had a voice in saying whether or not an express lane, a toll road, would be to their liking.
It is my conviction that it is in fact the expanded capacity that is improving travel times.
CDOT points to I-25 to make its case. At the start of the decade, I-25 was reconstructed from 225 to Broadway. The project known as T-Rex added light rail along I-25 and a new free lane in each direction. And today, you wouldn't know it.
10 years later, we're all stuck in traffic again on I-25. And that project has done exactly what it was supposed to do. But had that been a tolled express lane, Representative Lundeen, we still today would be able to actively manage that corridor to maintain a reliable travel time from point to point.
This is not normal, we know, for I-25 around University around this time of day. Maybe an hour ago it would have been clogged. So what David Spector meant, there would be one lane always free-flowing if I-25 had a toll, because that inside lane would be tolled to keep it moving at a certain speed. Raise the toll, maybe not so many people would use it, and anyone who didn't use it would fill the other lanes, clogging it more than we normally see. You can pretty much forget about any new highway lanes without a cost, Kyle, because CDOT has said they only have enough money to repair what is currently out there.
Yeah, that's the new normal. People need to get ready of that. So when they talk about we could still manage it, what they mean is you could still buy your way out of it.
Yeah, raise the price.
Got it.
We'll keep it clear.
All right. Thank you, Marshall. Where you go to sleep at night is not up to a politician or voters, unless you someday join the ranks of Denver's homeless. Well, then the law specifies precisely where you can rest and sleep. Advocates for the homeless say they now have signatures to put this contentious issue on the ballot. Our Noel Brennan explains.
Show me what democracy looks like!
These steps.
This is what democracy looks like!
Steps from Civic Center Park to the Denver Elections Division should secure a spot on the ballot.
9,000 signatures plus.
Signatures needed to let Denver voters decide if the homeless have the right to camp where they wish.
It doesn't work to keep pushing people from street to street, to alley to sidewalk to riverbank. It just plain doesn't work.
Organizers with Denver Homeless Out Loud propose a measure that would end the urban camping ban.
It protects the right to sleep, sit, lay down, and cover yourself.
The right to rest and shelter in outdoor public spaces.
That does not help folks who are struggling with homelessness.
Councilman Albus Brooks worries one new measure would change more than voters realize.
Our parks curfew, our camping ordinance, our major encumbrance ordinance, any of our ordinances we use, if people are setting up structures on sidewalks, we won't be able to use them anymore.
Brooks would support the initiative if it touched on housing and mental health.
We have to do both things at once, both housing and rights simultaneously, and that's what we're going to continue to work for.
With signatures signed, it'll be up to voters to take the next step.
So Denver Elections will review all those signatures, and we'll know for sure later this month if that initiative will be on the ballot. So Kyle, Denver Homeless Out Loud, they claim that thousands of people have been contacted by Denver police over the years for violating this urban camping ban. I talked to Councilman Brooks. He says he knows of only 22 people who've actually been ticketed for it.
So it's kind of like a move along device. They're not looking to do enforcement on it per se. I'm sure the homeless advocates would say it's all the same in the end.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Noel. Appreciate it. Most businesses would be out of business if they had to pay up a few $100 million to settle a case with the federal government. But not Denver-based DaVita, though. Today, the biggest name in the kidney dialysis game, through one of its physician groups, agreed to pay $270 million. Now, DaVita did self-report some bad behavior by some doctors a few years ago. But the $270 million, that's on top of a few other settlements DaVita's paid out over the years. And if you are adding them up, and we are, DaVita's now paid more than $1 billion to settle cases with the feds since 2014. Maybe when politicians and their spokespeople avoid answering our questions, they aren't being evasive, they just want more time to think about their response. In that case, Senator Cory Gardner is the most thoughtful man on earth. 4 days after we asked about the testimony that riveted America on Thursday, Gardner's spokesman got back to us to say that, yes, Senator Gardner finds Dr. Christine Blasey Ford credible. You heard countless Republicans just answer that question on Thursday. Gardner's spokesman told us today that the FBI investigation of the claims against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh could sway Gardner's opinion. Gardner thought to be an automatic yes on Kavanaugh. Denver's Mayor Michael Hancock's highest profile challenger yet is going to get into the race tonight with an ad during the Broncos game. Former state senator and fellow Democrat Penfield Tate is looking to capture public discontent over the ways that Denver is developing and changing. Do you intend to make Mayor Hancock's personal behavior an issue in the race?
You know, what I intend to do is address the issues that are brought into the race and that people talk about. And people I have spoken with have concerns about whether the mayor's office or the mayor's conduct sets the right tone for how city government ought to operate. How can you hold city employees who are valuable assets and valuable employees to the citizens of the city? How can you hold them to one standard if you act according to another standard?
So that was Hancock's challenger Penfield Tate talking about the fact that Mayor Hancock has apologized for sexual advances on a female police officer on his detail. Now here's Tate talking about the issue of growth and development. Do you believe that Mayor Hancock has the moral and ethical authority to lead the city?
I think Mayor Hancock's behavior, I mean, I've known him for many years like other folks in the city, and like other folks in the city, I'm disappointed, and I assume that's why he apologized. And I'm disappointed with his behavior in office because I don't think you can effectively lead the city and tell people how to behave and how to administer government for the benefit of the citizens if you're not behaving properly yourself. It is an issue that I think is there, but more importantly, that I know a large number of people in Denver think exists.
We got some things crossed up there. You can see my full conversation with Penfield Tate on the next YouTube channel. Mayor Hancock's campaign would not directly address Tate's entry into the race, did send us a statement saying that Denver these days is thriving and safe. Now, we had planned to bring you more of our conversations with the candidates for Colorado Secretary of State today, and that was prior to Tate's announcement, so we're going to pick up our coverage of the Secretary of State's race tomorrow.
Rockies fans help build Coors Field brick by brick. A next viewer wonders where the bricks went. And as we head into Rocktober, we look back 11 years to when the Rockies trademarked the term, and a very young, very skinny reporter tried to explain it on 9 News. Next.
The idea of next is that we want you to hear things and say, right on, that's what I'm thinking. And we also want you to hear things that make you squirm a little bit, make you uncomfortable, perspectives that you might not have considered, but are still thoughtful. And it's okay if you hear things that you don't like, because you're smart enough to decide whether or not you agree with it. Let's consider different perspectives. Let's give you good information so that you can make smart choices. You should expect to see and hear things that you have not seen and heard anywhere else.
MeTV presents Potter Poetry.
Oh, pony pucks, bull cookies, horse hockey, pigeon pellets, mule muffins, monkey muffins, beaver biscuits, buffalo bagels, buffalo chips. That's what she said. Suffering buffalo chips, suffering saddle soap, suffering sheep dip.
Watch Colonel Potter on MASH.
Hot diggity, hot saucy, hot mustard.
MASH, weeknights starting at 6 on MeTV.
Get to know the Johnsons 5 nights a week.
How about I give you $100?
No, 200. And you agree not to have any more children.
Okay, that's a decision I have. No, no.
A traditional family.
I'm here to help.
You're not Mom.
Where's Mom?
And an unconventional comedy.
I think you look good for your age, Dad.
40's not bad, right?
You're only 40? Good Lord, you've lived a hard life.
Weekdays starting at 5 p.m. on Channel 20.
This is how you say, it's going to be okay, to someone who just lost everything. That yes, we'll find you somewhere to stay. And yes, your children will have breakfast. Every 8 minutes, the American Red Cross responds to a disaster and makes this promise. Help us keep it.
Every day, I seek a positive direction for my life.
Through my accomplishments.
And now, with help.
And support from my family and others I own.
I own my recovery from addiction and depression.
Join the Voices for Recovery. It's worth it.
For information on mental and substance use disorders, including prevention and treatment referral, call 720-435-0686. Brought to you by Advocates for Recovery.
If you haven't watched the Justice Network, you're missing a great lineup of real crime stories and a chance to make your community safer. Tune in to the Justice Network.
The most Colorado thing we saw today is both simple and highly detailed. That is a crocheted Colorado flag tire cover on somebody's SUV. And that is fantastic. Kelly Maher, our Republican political expert here on 9 News, snapped this photo recently. She asked that we pass along that her car was stopped at the time she took the photo, so there's no need to concern troll her over safety.
Flannel, crocheted things. It all says fall, doesn't it? So does the sky like this. Kind of hazy and murky, not awful. In spite of the cloud cover, we managed low 70s today, and we should be warmer tomorrow. We're tracking a few light showers that are moving across the city tonight. Some of you will have to deal with that fog again, but the good news is there's more rain coming. This area under extreme drought scenario, southwestern Colorado and the Four Corners area, the remnants of Rosa making their way northeast over our state, and that's going to lead to kind of a cool, unsettled weather pattern for this first full week of October. So tonight, isolated showers early, and then we'll kind of watch that easterly push of wind, bringing a little bit of fog. Showers return to the western slope, I-70 corridor during the day. Some of those heavier showers will linger and may affect travel. But in Denver, kind of quiet tonight, kind of cloudy. A sprinkle or two, a low of 51, and then some areas of fog. A mix of clouds and sun tomorrow, a little warmer, highs near 80. And then we do see a cooling trend getting into Thursday, leading us to showers Friday, a cool weekend. Good chance for rain on Saturday and a stronger, colder storm next week. And that one could have a little snow with it. No snow way up high, but glorious to see the raindrops on the mountain peaks and even on I-70 in the distance.
Our next question comes from a viewer named Earl. Can you find out what happened to the bricks outside Coors Field, northwest side by the Chop House? The bricks were sold to people to help fund artwork for around the stadium. My son was at the Saturday game and said the bricks have been removed.
Your son's got good eyes, Earl. The Rockies tell us that those bricks aren't gone for good. They are temporarily in storage, and that's because of the construction that's happening in the west lot.
The bricks have been being preserved. They have been photographed, cataloged, and stored to not damage the bricks during construction of the west lot. The idea was to get them removed so heavy equipment and things like that would not ruin the bricks.
So what they're actually going to do is reinstall those bricks a bit closer to home plate on Blake and 20th, and that should happen before opening day next season. Time for our shameless ripoff of The More You Know. We call it You Should Probably Know This. Rocktober. We are in Rocktober. The Rockies are in the postseason, and it is a trademarked term. As of 11 years ago, the Rockies filed for the trademark on Rocktober on October 4th, 2007. That means that Rocktober can't be used commercially like on stickers or decals or bumper stickers unless it's with the Rockies' permission. I checked again recently, and the team still holds the Rocktober trademark, according to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. This was like a little mini scandal in town when it happened in 2007, and a young reporter who we will not name and you probably can't identify did a story about the situation 11 years ago. The good news is the Rockies aren't making a run at the other 11 months of the year. Those months aren't off limits for fans looking to make a buck selling T-shirts.
We ain't taking no prisoners!
For instance, Game 7 of the World Series would be on November 1st. Or should I say, Rockvember 1st. Or better yet, pick up T-shirts for next year's stretch run in Rocktember. But come on now. If you're a diehard fan, you need to show some love for spring training in your Rockuary shirt. Rockuary. Okay, it's not very catchy. You could just say Rocktober. There's no trademark against just saying it. I don't like him. He's young and sarcastic. It is an uncommon clash of colors in Colorado today. We have usually put away our purple by now, adopted orange from here to next year. But the Rockies are still playing, so the Broncos are saddled with sharing our attention. And that is how we get the uncommon clash of colors. Some fans wearing purple, others orange. Never both. Are there two colors less comfortably combined? Sure, Clemson does it. Dunkin' Donuts too, but those hues on you or me, not natural. Uncomfortable even. So let the Rockies roll tomorrow in the wild card. Let the Broncos rule Monday night. But be careful with that clash of colors, man. If you're desperate to show you're a fan, don't become the eyesore, tackier than a barroom floor. Colorado doesn't have enough extra parking for drivers to be childish, or possibly actual children. A brewer wins gold at the Great American Beer Festival, not long after he lost his brewery. Cheers to a survival story. Next. People don't always believe this, but I'm allowed to speak my mind on this show, and I'm allowed to showcase your thoughtful perspectives, even if the bosses don't agree with them. That really does happen here. That's the strength of Next. It's important to hear things that we disagree with because, lo and behold, we might change our minds. We also want Next to be a reflection of you watching at home. You're smart, funny, and you're unapologetically honest, even when it gets you in trouble. And that's what we hope that the show is as well.
I'm Corporal Klinger.
That must be me, sir.
I tried everything to get out of the Army.
I'll do anything to prove I'm not fit.
I sailed on a raft. I ate a Jeep.
Dip it in a little 30-weight motor oil, pop it in, and let it slide down the gullet.
But I never got out, which means you can watch more of me on Me TV.
Back-to-back episodes of MASH. Weeknights starting at 6 on Me TV.
These girls are too much.
Can I have your attention, everyone? That depends. Are you a cat video? Too funny. Here's your fish of the day. That day is last Monday. Too wild. Together. Caroline's got a date tonight. It's not a joke. I'm really going on a date. Stop it. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna pee.
Two broke girls.
5 nights a week on Channel 20.
It's an onion.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Strap in and hold on tight. The all-new Quest Network is here. Enter the worlds of our compelling characters. Join in on amazing adventures. Witness man's most stunning conquests. And be prepared to be inspired and entertained. The best new channel on television is now on 9.5. Quest. Let's explore.
How many times a day do you check your phone? Make it worth your while. With just one click of the Next with Kyle Clark button on the 9 News app, you can find all our latest stories.
Search for 9 News and download the app for your phone and tablet. It's free, so get it today.
often asked, as someone known for liking beer, whether the craft beer scene in Colorado is saturated, whether this state has too many breweries. I don't really know. I'm an expert on taste more so than economics, but I do know this. It is no longer enough for a brewer just to make great beer. Take Wits End. Judges loved their beer again and again, but their tap room closed. Still, though, the beer lives on. Our Byron Reed has that story.
I think there's a level of patience, but
Scott Whitsoe knows a thing or two about perseverance.
When you've brewed for as long as we all have, that's just part of it.
In 2011, he was laid off from his job and started his own brewing company from the ground up.
Started getting all those romantic notions in your head, like this happened for a reason, and signed a lease in my original spot, and pretty much took off from there.
Whitsoe started Wits End Brewing Company, but as his business grew, so did the popularity of craft beer makers in the metro area.
I think there was maybe 19 breweries in Denver proper. I think now we're close to 75.
So last year, he was forced to close his doors.
It wasn't growing the way I needed it to. Just got to a point where I started facing some decisions on what to do.
I totally felt his pain. A lot of breweries in Denver and a lot of breweries in Colorado are feeling the same thing.
Tim Myers is the founder of Strange Craft Beer Company, and so the two owners came up with a plan.
I had this idea of potentially renting a small space from him.
It's a brewery helping a brewery out, and we're helping each other out.
That is Wits End Brewing Company right there.
Last November, Whitsoe's company moved in.
And it's 36 square feet.
And the two started crafting beer side by side.
I believe we were the first to create this sort of co-tap room or co-habitation concept, and I know some other folks are kind of entertaining the idea as well.
And in his new location,
Jean-Claude Van Blonde,
Whitsoe's beer received its second gold medal at the Great American Beer Fest, proving a little innovation and persistence can go a long way.
There's always, maybe I should have tried this, maybe I should have tried that. And to just have some validity that we are doing some things very, very well.
For next,
and I honestly don't know what I would have done had Tim not offered that.
I'm Byron Reed.
Wits End is working on a tiny house brew in honor of that move. Wits End's old location and equipment has been taken over by another brewery looking to make a go at it. Next, viewers seem to love telling each other, hey buddy, you're an adult and you've crossed a line. But I'm not sure that we can blame adults for this. Maybe it was just a really helpful child returning the child's cart at Lowe's the other day. Peter Burrows spotted this. His favorite part is how you're cruising in here and from your perch in your driver's seat, you're like, ooh, look at that. 2 open spots right up next to the front door. Oh, no, wait, there's that tiny little kid's shopping cart there. Email next@9news.com or get our attention with the hashtag HeyNext. A sign that leaves us with some real questions and your feedback on this Monday, next. Too often we fall into this, there's this side and there's this side. Well, you know what? Sometimes this side isn't telling the truth, and we should be saying that. It's important to hear things you don't agree with because it is the single best way to test your own beliefs. It's a sign of thoughtfulness to hear a perspective that you disagree with and to say, you know what? I hadn't considered that. That's a really good point. I want to give you a fresh perspective, something that you haven't thought of. It doesn't matter if you agree. It just matters that we listen to each other.
I'm Gary Shapiro, sharing Colorado stories. 9 News everywhere.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Hi, I'm Ben Affleck. The only thing better than playing a hero in the movies is being a hero in real life. Like the 50,000 veterans who returned from Iraq and Afghanistan with devastating injuries. They are true heroes. And they're why I'm proud to support Paralyzed Veterans of America. They make sure veterans with spinal cord injuries get the care and support they need at no cost to them. To learn more, visit pva.org. That's pva.org.
Matchsticks, matchbox, matching tie to matching socks. You don't know why, but you're really special to match point, match game. You and I are not the same, but I can tell that you're really special to me. There's something I can give to make you laugh, to help you live. We're the perfect match, and you're really special to me. We're the perfect match, and you're really special to me.
Whether you want to improve your production skills or you're just starting out, Denver Open Media can help. Classes include production, studio, editing, graphics, and animation. Learn what it takes to make your own studio show with a full crew. Learn how to properly use lights, camera, and sound. Finish editing your short film or create your own graphics. Denver Open Media is a terrific resource for you to turn your idea into a reality. Sign up today at denveropenmedia.org.
Yeah, state's hot. It's a sign that tennis courts are for tennis only, even when tennis courts are no longer for tennis. Seems like a shame. A sign spotted by next viewer Bill Jones in South Denver. With the tennis nets long gone, it would seem that empty court is perfect for bikes and rollerblades and roller skates and etc. All of the things specifically prohibited by the sign. If you see something that makes you do a double take, send it our way. Email next@9news.com or get our attention with the hashtag HeyNext. So kind, Kathy writes, wanted to let you know how much I enjoy your show. You continually highlight Colorado stories I wouldn't hear about on the regular news. More importantly, your team seems to want the best for our state by giving us information we need to think about. See you next time.